But yeah, it's a fantastic headset, and the sound quality is just amazing. In some cases it's a bit too good, because it picks up sounds that are in the next room, even though I've closed my door. I think the next step is to get soundproof glass. Nah, I'm just joking. I can't be throwing around my like that. If I had my own studio, then that'd be great, but this is just a hobby. I can only dream. There we go. This little minion runs away. He was feared by Dawnbreaker. Ah, look at him run! I left him. I spared him. Spared his life. The miserable little scumbag. Picked up quite a fair few ebony arrows. Spider's lair to go through, which is always handy. Spiders, if you have arachnophobia, you're not going to like going through this part of the dungeon. Thankfully, though, the spiders are quite weak, and you can finish them off with a couple of hits. I'm glad that they introduced spiders into Skyrim. It sounds silly, but there weren't any in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. It's kind of strange. Kind of strange because you kind of expect spiders to be a low-level sort of RPG staple enemy. Or maybe you don't expect that. Maybe it's just me. You know, in Final Fantasies and whatnot, spiders and rats are always like the lowest level of RPG enemies that you come across. They had rats in Oblivion. They don't have rats in Skyrim, funnily enough. Although they have skeevers, which are basically rats. Basically rats. I wonder if there's any correlation between skeevers and Skaven from Warhammer. Anyone that follows Warhammer will know what Skaven are. Hideous rat men. The word skeever is quite similar to the word skaven, and Bethesda are well known when in the Elder Scrolls series for throwing the odd reference here and there to other sort of fantasy works. Not overtly, of course, because of most of their creations are their own thing, and they're fantastic in that respect. But sometimes they do like to reference, and I would be pleasantly surprised if an enemy in the next Elder Scrolls game was a sort of humanoid rat man type thing that could wield weapons. That would be absolutely amazing. In the absence of a decent Warhammer RPG. This is the second puzzle. Now here I was thinking you have to match the symbol to the symbol that is above the little turny block thing. So this one would be eagle. And I know that the snake was on the other side, wasn't it? There was a snake pedestal on the other side, so pull the lever. Okay, that was simplistic. That was simpler than I anticipated. Which was a pleasant surprise, really, because I wanted to get this done as fast as I could. I know it's 50 minutes, and that is contradictory of wanting to get it done as quick as possible. But I was glad that puzzle wasn't too hard. And what do we have in here? Another spellcaster. Scourges aren't really a problem. I mean, they have a couple of spells, but their spells are pretty weak when you compare them to like other spellcasting enemies. They're pretty weak. And of course, with playing as a Breton, and with Spellbreaker and the Atronach Stone ability, my magic resistance is pretty pimp, should we say? There was another archer there. Remember I was speaking earlier about the archers being possibly one of the most not the hardest enemies, because they go down in as many swings as the next enemy, but in terms of damage, they're absolutely crippling. So what you want to do is get up nice and close to them, so they draw their melee weapon, because most archers carry a melee weapon as well, which they use if you close them down. So what you want to do against the archers is chase them down and force them to use their melee weapon, which is usually weaker than their bow. Almost stood on that. Almost set that trap off. You bet if I had a follower with me, they would have tripped it off, but like I said, you cannot bring any followers to Skuldafn. Oh, he had a little peephole to shoot me through. That explosion set off the oil. There was an oil pot. A pot full of fire which then drops onto the oil. There's a pot full of there is a pot, right? And this pot is full of fire, and when it's attacked, it drops onto the oil, which creates the big sheet of flames. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, but I don't know, maybe this cold is affecting me in more ways than one. I hope not, but maybe it is. I sincerely hope not. I was opening a lot of chests in this. Yep, hit a bit. Got a little bit here. Yeah, like I say, I was opening a lot of chests in this one. I didn't really open any chests throughout the series, because I would usually have the items that I needed. Right, now at this point, there was always a high level Dragur guarding the puzzle door, the Nordic puzzle door, and what that is, it's basically you need the claw to open it. I can't remember. There was a claw puzzle in the last episode, yes. And by high level Dragur, if you're as high a level as me, which means 45 plus, you get to face off with a dragon priest. So actually, we're killing 2 dragon priests in this episode. Now this was an unnamed dragon priest, so it was a generic dragon priest. But don't let that fool you. They are still one of the hardest enemies in the game. The dragon priests I am going after are all the named ones, the unique ones that wear the masks. If you noticed, if you pause during this fracas here, you'll see that this dragon priest is not wearing a mask. There's nothing special about him, but he's also a formidable enemy, so never underestimate the dragon priests. But you have to defeat the high level Dragur to get the diamond claw. That symbol is Fox Moth Dragon, I believe. Fox Moth Dragon. I'm a bit disappointed in the zoom feature. When you look at items in your inventory, it says press R3 to zoom, although the zoom is very minimal, so I'm not really very impressed with that, to be honest. But anyway, put the diamond claw in there after putting the right combination, and the door will open. So now, and there's a word wall there for your troubles. I believe it has Stormcall on it, which is which you won't want to forget this, because if you miss it, like I say, you won't want to miss it, because like I say, you can never come back to Skuldafn. So if you miss the Storm Call shout, the first word is the first word, you could be in danger. Now, you pick up the other two words in Dragon Priest lairs as well. I believe in Hevnorak's lair, I could be wrong, but I believe in Hevnorak's lair, and in another Dragon Priest lair, maybe Morike. I'm not sure. Do not quote me on that. I do have the strategy guide. Could go and read it, actually. Could go pick it up and just double check. But because, or you can just go back over the other episodes, watch them again, which I will always advocate, because this has been a fantastic series. Highly watchable. Highly watchable. That's my own opinion, but you can second that by liking the video. Yes, my plan didn't quite work there. I wanted to shout him off the edge, where he would inevitably die, but he did not. He didn't want to go over the edge. Oh, amazing! The fear worked on the Dragur definitely. Normally they resist it because they're quite tough chaps, but I was just waiting for one of them to do Unrelenting Force, because normally they spam the shout as much as they can, but I didn't use it. There's a dragon up there. Those dragons will remain docile as long as you don't do anything to provoke them beforehand. They will swoop down to attack, however, once you engage Nahkriin. At the top there with them. That's another reason why Nahkriin is one of the hardest dragons. Oh, there we go. He didn't survive that. Yes, there's a dragon there. Yeah, there's actually two dragons, and that's like what was I saying? Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Nahkriin is one of the hardest. Well, I don't know. There's two dragons with him, which should not be underestimated at all. Woe be to the adventurer that underestimates a dragon. Oh, did I really record that 7 days ago? Not 7 days ago, 17 days ago. It's the 18th of June. At the time of my recording, this commentary, I obviously recorded the video on the 1st of June, it was 17 days ago, so I didn't get around to this commentary until 2 weeks, well, 2 weeks and a bit. Yeah, that's the price, you know, sometimes stuff comes up, work and whatnot. Starting university again in September 2012, very much looking forward to going to my new campus, new university, but let's not get into my personal life. Sneak attack for extra damage on the Elder Dragon. So yeah, this one's going to be a challenge, hopefully. Elder Dragon, basically the strongest dragon. Is an Elder Dragon the strongest, or is it an Ancient Dragon? I forget, maybe. And here I fell down, and I'm incredibly lucky, because if I had fell down, there's a potion in the air for some reason, picked it up. If I'd fell down any more, I could have possibly died, and that would have been very annoying after 36 minutes of gameplay. Yes, epic battle here with two dragons. Two of the Dove, if you're well versed in the dragon language. That's one thing that I like about Skyrim, is that Bethesda developed the dragon language. Whilst I have no intention of learning it in much detail, I always find little details like that by game developers I find that a nice touch. It shows you that they're dedicated to the games that they work on, and you cannot get more dedicated than Bethesda, I believe, in terms of software developers and game developers. I think they are one of the top. They are definitely at the top for, you know, detail in their video games, which is something I like to see, because there are so many half-assed video games out there which are just designed to be played and beaten. But I like to see detailed games, and yeah, this is definitely one. This is definitely one of them. The thing about fighting dragons is it's very difficult to get the right positioning of yourself. A lot of the times the dragons will just fly around and breathe fire at you, and sometimes, especially in the wilderness, when you're out in Skyrim in the wilderness, dragons they'll attack you and then they'll fly off and attack something else. So it can be very frustrating trying to go mano in mano with a dragon in this game. This was very disappointing as well, because I fell down all that way. I now have to go through the temple again to reach the previous high ground. That was very annoying, but thankfully I've killed the enemies in the temple already, so I just need to take down these dragons. This elder dragon, the more dangerous of the two, so give him a good blasted dragon rend to keep him anchored to the ground. Dragon rend is your best friend when you fight dragons, as the name suggests. It's very effective against dragons. Use it. I hope that doesn't come as clear as it should on the headset mic. You want to hear me sniffing snot back up my nose? Do you, me old mucker? That's my catchphrase, by the way. I'm gonna use it in every video now. Well, I have been using it in every video for a while. Typical well, it's not typical British, but it is a British phrase. Londoner phrase. I like it. Bloody hell, me old mucker. Hey up, me old mucker. So yeah, I killed the elder dragon. There's still this guy, the frost dragon. He's still eager to meet my acquaintance. I love Spellbreaker. Blocked all his frost breath. If you want to be able to block magic and dragons' frost and fire breathing abilities, then definitely invest in either Spellbreaker, obtaining Spellbreaker, or take the block perk called Elemental Shield. I believe it's either called Elemental Wall or Elemental Shield or Elemental Block. It has Elemental in the name, right? And it will give you the ability to block magic to some extent, to some small extent. Like a percentage of magic will be blocked by your shield. You can block spells effectively. So invest in that. I believe you have to have 60 block skill in order to obtain that perk. So yeah, very disappointing that I had to go through the temple again, because I got knocked all the way down that mountainside. Thankfully though I didn't die. If I had died, then that would have been it. Probably wouldn't have been in the mood to go through all that, but... So now... go through the abandoned temple now. Now that we killed all the inhabitants. Set off those traps. Well, when sprint can be useful, it does have its uses. Although the cooldown time is the cooldown time of Whirlwind Sprint sort of defeats the purpose of using it. I would like it to have a smaller cooldown time, because sometimes, whoa, sorry, I dropped my remote control. Just sprinting through. Sprint, sprint, sprint. One funny shout is, in episode 3 I defeated Croesus, and if you rewatch that episode you will hopefully see that the word wall gives you the shout called Throw Voice. And the funny thing about Throw Voice, well, I find it funny, is if you use Throw Voice, because it's in the dragon language, it kind of sounds like a rude word. I'll let you test this out yourselves, but try using Throw Voice, and you tell me in the comment section below what you're hearing, because to me it sounds like a word that shouldn't really be said unless you know, well, go and do the shout. Tell me what the word sounds like, and leave it in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you on that, because I find that quite amusing in a sort of juvenile way. So yeah, we lost a couple of minutes having to redo this, having to re-navigate our way through the temple. Funnily enough, the door was coming down again, which is odd because I'd already unlocked that door. So the word wall, almost done now, almost done. Burnt corpse with a sword next to it, so someone was already here before us. Some brave hero had tried to take on the perils of Skuldafn, but whoever he was, he failed. Nice try, but he failed. I equipped the Stormcore because I wanted to make the finale epic. Epic finale, you know, the sort of finales that you see in TV and in movies. So, well, I tried anyway, and I did some creative editing as well. I'd like to let me know what you think of it's only a small thing, and it's the only thing I edited in this video. It's only a small change, but I think it has a nice effect on the piece as the episode, as it's the final episode of this series. So we advance up the flight of steps, and I forgot that there's not only a dragon there, but there was this guy. Didn't exactly shout him off, which I wanted to do to get rid of him quickly, but quickly deal with him. Drops down there, falls down there, and hello, dragon. And there he is. That's Nahkriin opening the portal to Sovngarde. And here he is, the final battle, the final showdown between John Belmont, the Dragon Priest Hunter, and the fearsome Dragon Priest Nahkriin. He uses storm magic. I just had to bait that dragon into joining the fight as well. So Nahkriin uses shock magic. So make sure you've got shock resistance or dragons have a ridiculous amount of health. They have like thousands of HP. And there's Nahkriin pelting me. Thunder magic, shock magic. Spellbreaker does its job. Holds up against his attacks. Now Nahkriin can be a bit of an idiot, really. because he's backing away throughout the whole fight, and he almost falls to his death there. And in some cases, he can actually fall off. You know, he can fall all the way down and you know, effectively commit suicide. So you may want to try and bait him to do that. To be fair, I could have just run him through. I could have run him through and stuck him like a pig. But I wanted to make this a bit cinematic, so I used Stormcall. Shout to the skies, and let the heavens rain forth, and the holy thunder of God strike you down, Nahkriin, you foul being. There. I ask you, can you get any more epic than that? An epic fight atop a fortress in the middle of the sky. Thunder and rain. There we go. It's all over. The quest has come to an end. Nahkriin has been slain. And we can claim his mask. And his staff. You need his staff to carry on the quest. But his mask, 50 magicka, destruction and restoration spells cost 20% less. Now we've killed all 8 dragon priests. I've been Mark from GamebustersUK, me old mucker. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this Elder Scrolls V Skyrim series. John Belmont, the Dragon Priest Hunter. Rejoice, all the Dragon Priests are now slain. If you want to request any more Skyrim content, feel free to do so in the comment section below or a private message. But as for John Belmont, the Dragon Priest Hunter, our quest is done.